But of course, got to kick things off as per the pre-show audio. Ultimate Warrior's passing last Tuesday. Now, I think it was we went off the air at 10 p.m. Eastern Time last Tuesday night. Got back, had just uploaded the show to my website. No more than 5 minutes went by when someone told me that the Ultimate Warrior had passed away. I couldn't believe it, was still in shock until I went to bed that night. Very devastating loss to the wrestling world and just in general. His wife and 2 kids, his 2 daughters, are now without a husband and father. It's just an absolute tragic loss. But details have now surfaced saying that Ultimate Warrior suffered a heart attack. This past or last Tuesday. The news broke just yesterday via TMZ. A catastrophic heart attack, apparently, a massive heart attack. So it really sucks for the wrestling world. A lot of love been going around for the Ultimate Warrior, just not amongst the wrestling world, but in the mainstream too. I've seen there was some girl that got a tattoo of the Ultimate Warrior. Baseball teams have been coming out to the theme of the Ultimate Warrior. A lot of love from a lot of wrestlers and a lot of people across the public eye. So very touching to see that. Of course, WWE has paid tribute to the Ultimate Warrior over the last week. They aired some footage of his on the WWE Network last Wednesday night. They will be doing Warrior Week, I think, immediately following the show ends at 10 o'clock Eastern Time, so check that out tonight, tomorrow, Thursday. So it's Warrior Week on the WWE Network, so check that out. But even still, though, I think the positive coming out of this is that he left the world on a very high note, and after being inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame on Saturday night last week, making his first WrestleMania appearance in nearly 18 years at WrestleMania 30 last Sunday, and of course making his first and final Raw appearance in 18 years. And next night on Monday Night Raw, we just played the audio of his promo from that show. Very touching stuff. Now up to, I think, 4 million views on YouTube. Just very eerie stuff. I mean, we didn't really talk about it all that much last week on last week's show because, of course, the loss didn't happen at that point. But I don't think he knew that he was going to die. I think that's complete BS. Maybe he didn't know that his health was at its finest. But even still, I don't think he planned his death or anything stupid like that. I hate when people say that. But regardless, though, a very big loss to the wrestling world. WWE, now kind of going into last night's episode of Monday Night Raw, they did a tremendous job of paying tribute to the Warrior at the start of the show with that beautiful video package to kick off the show. They always do this kind of stuff when someone passes away. Not any just old talent. I mean, it would be nice if they did that for someone like a Nelson Frazier, a.k.a. Big Daddy V, a.k.a. Mabel. I know they don't do it for everybody, but they did the same thing for Mae Young, for Paul Bearer, Eddie Guerrero, of course, and we'll get to that in just a minute. And, of course, the Macho Man when he passed away a couple years ago. And unlike Warrior, he was unable to enter the WWE Hall of Fame and make amends to the WWE before he passed away in May of 2011. So a very tragic loss. Warrior, Macho Man, and hopefully this is the last loss for quite a while because it's too many for the WWE to take. But just a historic week last week. We already kind of talked about it last week. WrestleMania 30, the 30th anniversary of their biggest show of the year. Monday Night Raw, an awesome show. We talked about that last week. Like I just said, the passing of the Ultimate Warrior on Tuesday night. If we have time for it, we'll talk about this briefly a little later on. But Eric Young winning the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Lots of mixed emotions on that, especially for myself and RJ. But if we have time, we will be talking about that later. But regardless, so I was talking to RJ about this just yesterday and how it brought back memories of the passing of Eddie Guerrero. So, RJ, I just want to get your thoughts on your initial reaction to the news breaking on Warrior and how this, you said, it drew a lot of similarities to Eddie Guerrero from 2005 and when you were a kid 9 years ago. Yeah,
like I was saying yesterday, like I think I just got back to the dorm like 5-10 minutes of the show and I looked on Twitter and it said that he died, but I was like, how could he die? He was here yesterday. And then, like you said, Triple H, Stephanie, WWE reported. So I was like,
yeah,
Jesus, like, just saw the guy 2 days earlier at WrestleMania. So I was pretty shocked.
Yeah, in person, yeah.
Yeah. And then, like, last night when they had, like, them all come out, like, the 10-bell salute, like, really reminded me of when Eddie Guerrero died. They did, like, pretty much the same thing. Had, like, the video package, all of them out there. The Eddie Guerrero one, they were more emotional than the Warrior, obviously, because Eddie was still a talent at that time.
Yeah, of course.
And then they did the 10-bell salute, and it just kind of like brought memories back to when that happened. So.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned before that I think that was the first time they've done a 10-bell salute for a wrestler on WWE TV since Eddie Guerrero. Is that correct?
I think so. Because I think they only really do it when there's like people still like in the company when it happens, I'm pretty sure.
But they didn't do it for Benoit because that entire show was a tribute show. I know, obviously, but I mean on that Monday they didn't know, but you know what I mean? So I don't think they did it for Benoit.
I don't think they did it for Benoit.
Vince McMahon opened up the show and addressed everybody, and then they went into the video package.
And then next night on ECW, they're like, forget everything that happened last night. Yeah,
exactly. So, yeah, I don't think they've done it. I know they did it for the tragedy from December, the Newtown school shooting. I know they did it at the TLC pay-per-view, but it wasn't a wrestler's death. But even so, that was very classy that they did that. But in terms of wrestlers passing away, I don't even think they did it for Macho Man. And when Macho Man passed, they just aired that video package. So that was nice that they showed matches and stuff with the Warrior last night. But regardless, Mike, I'll get to you now. Your initial reaction when it came to the Ultimate Warrior passing away last week, any fond memories of the Warrior, and of course, might as well get into this right now too. Your thoughts on WrestleMania 30 just being there live.
The passing of Ultimate Warrior was actually really shocking. Seeing him come out on Sunday night at Mania, the whole crowd going nuts. He had like beef with McMahon and stuff, so like it was like a big like outcoming for him, you know what I mean? So him coming out to the whole crowd and going like crowd was going nuts. He was the main Hall of Famer getting inducted, and then like seeing him on Raw the next day at home, and then next day seeing him die. It really just sees how small the world is, you know what I mean? Like how fast it is. Anything can happen at any given moment. I think like as much as the fans were shocked, that Vince and the company was shocked as well. Know what I mean? I don't know. You can't really.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was.
I don't know. You can't really just put something on there like that. I don't know.
Well, it was good that on his way out too that he made amends with a lot of the people that he had problems with, including Hulk Hogan. They took a picture backstage on Monday Night Raw last week. Jake Roberts, who I know he had a beef with in the last couple of months. Kevin Nash, I believe, and a number of other people. So that was nice for him to make amends to those people before his passing. But of course, only 54 years old. Like I said, a very tragic loss to the wrestling world. And it's not without its controversy, of course. The whole Nancy Grace thing and the guy from ESPN, what was his name again?
Colin Cowherd.
Colin Cowherd, yeah. So I don't want to get into a whole rant about that because we like to limit the obscenities on this show. So I can go on a full 20-minute rant about that, but we won't. So, and I think RJ mentioned it before. I mentioned it in my Ultimate Warrior video on YouTube, so you can check that out if you want to. But